We are tired. We are tired of being beaten by policemen. We're tired of seeing our people locked up in jail over and over again. And then you holler, be patient. How long can we be patient? We want our freedom, and we want it now.
Representative John Lewis, an iconic leader of the civil rights movement, has died at the age of 80. Representative Lewis was a living link between the struggle that Black Americans faced for civil rights in the 60s and the struggle that we face today in 2020. In 1961, he became one of the original 13 Freedom Riders. There were 7 whites and 6 blacks, and they were determined to ride from Washington, D.C. to New Orleans, integrated. At the time, there were states that enforced laws prohibiting black and white riders to sit next to each other on public transportation. So they protested with the Freedom Ride. In the South, Lewis and other Freedom Riders, they were beaten and attacked by angry mobs. Lewis suffered an injury to his face, was kicked in the ribs. Nevertheless, 2 weeks later, he joined another Freedom Ride, bound for Jackson, Mississippi. While in Mississippi, he was imprisoned for 40 days for participating in Freedom Rider activities in the state. Lewis was one of the founding members of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. In 1963, he took over as the chairman. He was widely respected as an emerging leader. And by this time in his life, he had been arrested 24 times in the movement for equal justice. During his tenure as the chairman for the SNCC, Lewis was named as one of the Big Six, along with Dr. King, Whitney Young, A. Philip Randolph, James Farmer, and Roy Wilkins, as the organizers of the infamous March on Washington, where Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech. Also during his tenure, he opened freedom schools, and in 1964, he coordinated the Mississippi Freedom Summer, which was a campaign to register black voters across the South and to expose college students from around the country to the life of African Americans in the South. In 1965, at the height of the civil rights movement, and just 25 years old, Lewis led a march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. The 600 people assembled at a downtown church. They knelt in prayer. They began walking silently, non-violently, throughout the city streets. In 1 minute and 5 seconds after a 2-minute warning was announced, the troops that were assembled and who had clubs, bullwhips, tear gas, and other forms of weaponry attacked. John Lewis suffered a skull fracture. He was one of 58 people to be treated for injuries on that day, which is known as Bloody Sunday. The protest influenced more than 80 American cities to hold their own demonstrations, and ultimately, the passage of the Voting Rights Act, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson 5 months after Bloody Sunday. John Lewis continued to fight for equality as a 17-term Democratic member of Congress. And in 2020, as we are engaged in a pivotal moment in this country's history, as black people fight against police brutality, mass incarceration, institutionalized racism, gentrification, white supremacy. John Lewis leaves us with one last message. Remember his life. Remember his dedication to the movement. Remember the sacrifices that he made for the movement. Remember his legacy. Continue his legacy by staying dedicated to the movement, by staying focused on the tasks that are at hand. Continuing to fight. Because like he said just a short time ago, we will help redeem the soul of America and save this country. Rest in peace, John Lewis.
Some people gave more than a little blood. Some gave their very lives. So to each and every one of you, especially you young people, the fraternities and sororities, yes, sir. You look good. Thank you, brother. You look colorful. Thank you, brother. Go out there. Speak up. Speak out. Get in the way. Get in good trouble.
Good trouble.
Necessary trouble. And help redeem the soul of America. And each and every one of you. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to continue to fight. We need your prayers now more than ever before. Let's